Hello, guys. So today we're going to talk about website, designing your website on Springly. We're here for about 30 to 40 minutes. The objective by the end of this demo video is for you to be completely autonomous in designing your own website on Springly. I will teach you all the tips and tricks that you can find, but also and most specifically, I will go step by step in how to design your website on Springly. I will start by showing you an example of a website, just for you to have a grasp of what is possible to do on Springly, and then we'll indeed go step by step in how to design your website. But before drilling into the topic, let me just take a couple of seconds to tell you about the main benefits that you will find on Springly to design your website. There's actually four main benefits. The first one is that the website that you design on Springly is completely integrated with the rest of the platform. That means that in terms of access rights, in terms of connection with the different forms and campaigns, everything is completely smooth. It takes a couple of clicks in order to synchronize things between your platform and your website. Let me just give you two examples. The first one is about indeed access rights. When you create segments or groups within your community, you can build pages on your website and restrict those pages to the different groups, to some of the groups that you have created within your community. So a complete integration, it literally takes a couple of 2 clicks. You just restrict the visibility of a page to a group that you have created within your community. That's very easy. And that notably can allow you to build an intranet for members, but not only for members, for other type of people. That's the first main benefit. Second main benefit, indeed, regarding connection and integration with the rest of the platform, is about campaigns. When you create a campaign, at the end of the configuration of the campaign, you can publish that campaign, and it literally takes 2 clicks to say, okay, I want to publish that campaign on this page of my website, and you just select the page, and then that's it. The campaign is integrated into your website. You don't need to make a web integration, etc., etc. So that's the main benefits, is about a full and complete integration with the rest of your community. The second big benefit of designing a website on Springly is about simplicity. First, the CMS that Springly uses is actually, and that we've designed, is actually very simple. It's a drag and drop type of CMS that allows you to design your page very easily. We'll see that in a minute together. And second thing about simplicity is that we have pre-configured some pages that we call smart pages. And those smart pages, as we'll see later on, allows you to build complete pages fully pre-designed. You don't need to worry about the design. You just need to worry about the content of it. It's somehow some templates that we have created for a blog. If you want to create a blog, you just need to worry about the content for the articles in itself, not to worry about how to present a blog, a blog page, etc. Photo galleries, for example, another example. Directories, if you want to share a directory of your members, major donors, or whoever within your community, you can, and there's a very nice way to do that, etc., etc. We have a couple of them that we have pre-designed on Springly. And the last main benefit that you will find on Springly using the website is notably about domain name management. So if you already have a domain name and you want to so if you already have a domain name on Springly, and if you want to confide us the management of this domain name on a yearly basis, we can do that on your end. You can also buy your domain name directly on Springly. We'll check the availability of that domain name, etc., etc. So the whole management of the domain name is really eased on Springly, and we'll also see that in a minute. Well, that's the first general introduction on Springly, on the main benefits that you can find. And so now let's actually deep dive into the website feature. we'll segment that into parts. The first part, very quickly, I'm going to show you an example of a website. And second, we're going to go step by step how to design a website on Springly. So first, let me show you an example of what is possible to do on Springly. Voilà. So this is a website that I've created on Springly. It has to do with a food bank. So this is the front page, completely pre-designed, completely customized. Sorry, with my events, for example, here, an article here. I want to volunteer. I want to subscribe to the newsletter also at the bottom of it. I've got also blog content here. I've got a specific integration. I've got a link to specific campaigns that I have, membership campaign, donation campaign, etc., etc. This is a fully customized page. But for example, within the About Us section, I've got also a thing about our mission, contact us, for example. Again, this is some type of pages that is completely pre-designed. I mean, the way to design that is completely done by the platform. I just this is a component basically. This is a component to contact us that is connected to a specific account, etc., etc. So again, that's about the ease of use of the platform. Also, underneath you and I, there's a few things that I wanted to show you. We've got the link to the different campaigns. Join Us is actually the membership campaign. So it's fully and completely the campaign that we have created is completely embedded on the website very smoothly. And this took literally a couple of clicks to do that. Donation support us is about the donation campaign. Events is presents all the events that are closed, all the events that are coming up, etc. And then we've got a set of different pages that I was referring to, smart pages. We've got a blog, but once again, has been completely pre-designed by us, by the platform. You just need to worry about the articles in itself, the content of the article, the title, and the image, and that's it. The rest is pre-designed. Calendar is a very simple calendar about all the events that you have, all the campaigns that you have created on your platform. Gallery is basically the bunch of photo galleries that you might have of the different events, for example, that you held. Survey also some type of page that is already pre-designed, pre-configured. You've got the ability to create a survey on Springly, multiple surveys, of course. Local chapters. If you have local chapters, you can create specific space on your website that points out to those different chapters. So then I can access the group if I want. And then underneath that group, I will have access to all the pages that this group has created. So this has to do if you work in network. And very important, you can also log in if you're a member. So let me actually log in with my email address. There you go. And as you can see, there's a new tab that has appeared, Member Space, because indeed I'm a member, and so I have access now to a different type, to different content that no one has had access to before. Of course, I've got access to my account. We'll see that later on. But within Member Space, I've got the members directory, for example, so with all the people in the US that are actually a member. I can actually drill down into that. I can actually drill down into New York. I can see there's a bunch of people in New Jersey and the rest in Manhattan, downtown Manhattan, and also Upper East Village, etc., etc. So I can literally drill down into the map. I've got another directory of major donors, for example. I've got a store that has been restricted, which access has been restricted to just the members, etc., etc. And of course, I've got access to my account, which is the summary of my profile, which is very important. So all the information that has been stored on me, but also all the activity that I had with the nonprofit. So the different purchases that I made over the years, the different emails that have been sent, the different memberships that I took over the years, and the different donations that I made over the years. So I've got literally like an entire view of all the activity that I had with the nonprofit. Voilà. So this is just a short insight of what is possible to do on the website on Springly, both visible to anyone, so both a public website, but also a sort of an intranet with different information that can be restricted to certain groups of people. In that example, members. Okay, so that being said, now let's actually move on to the administrative part and see exactly how we can come up with a website like that. So let me go back on the platform. There we go. Before building the website, one thing that must be done, you must want to make sure that everything is activated in order for you to design your website. In order to do that, what you're going to do, you're going to go to settings, and then you're going to scroll down and go to manage features. You want to make sure that everything that has to do with the website is activated. So you can indeed create the right components. So of course, you need to enable the website, but also all the smart pages, if you need to build some of them. So blog pages, photo galleries, calendar, surveys, and directory pages. Those 5 type of pages should be enabled if you want to be able to create them, because if you don't enable them, they will not appear within the tab, and so you won't have access to them. Once you have activated everything, let's actually go back to the software and let's see precisely, step by step, how to build your website. So the tab website should appear. It's divided into main settings and smart pages. Smart pages are indeed the different pre-configured pages that we can create. And main setting is basically how to set up your website, plain and simple. The first thing that you need to do is go to settings and themes. When you access there, 3 things. The first thing is to choose the theme of your website. We have pre-configured themes that you can use in order for you to design your website. So when you access website themes here, this is the current theme of my website. I can potentially change the theme if I want. So I've got different themes. This one, this is another one, a third one, etc., etc. So what you need to do is to see, okay, how do I want my website to be looking like? Sorry. So you choose the best one, and then once you choose it, everything will be pre-configured in terms of structure within the page, in terms of colors, etc. Of course, you will be able to change them afterwards, but at least everything will be pre-configured in a nice way. Let's not change it because I'm quite happy with it. But what I can do, of course, I can check the mobile display. I can also play around with the colors, default colors. Those are the default colors, and I've got also advanced settings with the main color, block colors, menu colors, navigation bar, footers, etc., etc. So this allows me to define the colors within the theme of my website. So the colors, the font, the textures of the bars and the footer, and well, fill radius is actually one next. Well, so this is actually quite important because you can play around with the different the different colors within your website. And for example, the main color is basically some of the buttons, the colors that will be displayed on some of the buttons. So that's actually quite important to spot that. This is the first step. Define the theme and the colors of your website. Once this is done, let's work top to bottom. Let's actually worry about the domain name, which is at the very top of your page, of course. As I said in intro, you've got the possibility on Springly to manage directly your domain name. So by default, your domain name will be the name of your organization with dashes, .springly.org. If you don't want to have .springly.org, which I can understand, you've got different options. Either you already have a domain name, either you don't have a domain name. If you do not have already a domain name, you can actually click there, type in the domain name that you want to buy, And then you're actually taken to a funnel where we check the domain availability, and then you're able to buy the domain name. So it's actually very simple. It allows you to create, pay, check the domain name that you want for your organization. Let's assume that you already have a domain name. So I have a domain name. You click there, and so two options: either you want us to manage everything for you, which I can understand because it can actually be quite a pain. Either you're actually quite familiar with how to set up and configure a DNS for your domain name, and then you can actually you want to set up your domain name on your own, and then you just need to type in your domain name. You select the current register that you have, .vh, KMT, whatever, GoDaddy, main ones, and then you set the DNS of your domain name, and you check the configuration, etc., etc. It's the funnel is actually very simple. We do that for you. We do that with you, sorry. But in the case that you don't want to manage that, we can do that for you. And this is just help me set up my domain name, and then it's another funnel, very simple. Whether you check whether you have personalized email address or not, management option, registrar information, etc., etc. So you just complete those to one of those two forms, and then everything is should be set up. So that's for the domain name part. Once you're happy with it, two things that are very visible within the structure of your page is actually the header and the footer. Let's actually concentrate first on the header. This is just an extract of the header of your page currently with the theme that you have selected. Of course, that will change depending on the theme that you have selected. The first thing that I advise you to do is actually to click here. Click here to show hide what can be edited. So you click here, and then you actually is highlighted all the parts of that page that can be changed. For example, the themes, well, not the themes, but the outlook of the main tab section can be edited. Let's actually click here. And indeed, do you want to display, for example, the logo of your organization here? Yes or no? Do you want to add specific buttons in that on that spot? Do you want to add the login button? You can see here there's the login button. Do you want to add social medias within that page? Yes or no? And for example, if I don't want to have the login button at the very top of my page, I can actually uncheck the login button. And if I save, save, takes a couple of seconds. Information has been saved successfully. Perfect. So now the login button will have disappeared from my from the header. It's actually plain and simple. And indeed, let me actually go back to the website. Let's actually refresh. And there you go. The login button has disappeared. It's very simple. If I don't know, I don't want to have the social media at the top, I can do that also straight away. You just uncheck that. You save again, and that's it. And those items will disappear from the website. So it's very simple. You can do that with the rest of the elements. So you can do that with here, with the newsletter subscription. You can uncheck that if you want. You can change, of course, the full image if you want. With the change the image, of course, but also in terms of type of display, the size, the width, the etc. etc. Everything is parameterizable, customizable. So let's assume that you're happy with it. You save. Let's go back. Let's just wait for that to be saved. There we go. Let's go back. Now we can actually do the exact same thing with the footer. It's working in the same way. So that's why we're doing that right after. So as you can see, there's more or less the same thing, same presentation that you have. This is pre-configured. The sitemap, licenses, legal notice, terms and conditions will appear automatically if you have set up terms and conditions within the settings of your organization, etc., etc. The rest is actually pretty much standard. But of course, you can add a few things, like indeed a newsletter subscription if you want. at the bottom of it. Social media, since we took social media at the top, we can actually add them at the bottom of it. Let's save that, and we'll see how it will actually be presented. It's presented here, etc., etc. So once again, you can change pretty much everything how things appear within the page. Of course, you can add a new block if you want. For example, to add a block with the links to other pages within your website. That can be the case within the footer. You can do that if you want. Voila, plain and simple. Let's actually go back and go to the next step. Before drilling into the main thing, which will be defining the structure and define the page and designing the pages, a few other options that you can find on the website that will be on this page. Other options here. A few things. Favicon. That's basically the little icon that you find here within the tab of your navigator. So it's basically a short logo of your organization. Can be actually quite nice. If you want to follow the trends, the detailed trends of your website, you might want to follow your website on Google Analytics. So you've got the ability to connect your website with Google Analytics with a code that will be displayed here. That you will need to put it here. Login page. If when people try to log in, how do you want them to be able to log in, etc., etc. Terms and conditions, as we've seen before, will appear as well as legal notice will appear at the footer of your page if you want to define some of them. You don't have to; it's just optional. Voilà, those are just a few options that I wanted to underline here. Now let's actually focus on the main thing, which basically is the structure of your website and the page content in itself. So, in order to do that, when you click here or here, you will be taken to menus and pages, which is indeed where you will define the structure of your website. Let me put that here. Okay, so first thing is you wanna define the structure of your website, basically. So the main tab, the sub tabs, and so on. So for example, here I've got 3 main tabs: About Us, You and I, and local chapters. Member space is actually limited to just the members, so it's actually a full tab, but it's actually limited to certain people. Once you've done that, you want to define the pages underneath. For each and every page or section, main tab is actually called section at Springly. For each and every page or section, you can define the visibility, name and menu visibility. It's the same for pages, name and pages visibility. Very important. When you click here, you've got the name, of course, and then you've got the visibility. You can see that I can choose whether it's a public page, restricted to your community, to literally everyone that is within your CRM, administrators, only the people that are actually defined as administrators on the platform, members, donors, so active members, active donors, or groups. This is very powerful because that allows you to, this is connected to all the groups that you have created within your platform. So I do find literally all the groups. Major donors, over $100, frequent donors. Those are very specific groups that I've created within my CRM. They appear here, and that's why I say it's actually quite powerful because it allows you to create connections between your CRM and your website. Let's actually put that as a public page. So it's the same for menus. It's the same for pages. Once you have defined the structure and the visibility of your page, few things. When you create a new page, you've got the choice between creating a smart page or creating a customized page. So smart pages is basically all the smart pages that we've defined, that we've seen together, and we'll drill into some of them together. But do you want to create a directory? Do you want to create a photo gallery, a blog page, etc.? Or do you want to create a customized page? Customized page will basically be a blank page that you will have to define from scratch. Let's see actually how it's actually working. For a customized page, so the home page is actually a customized page. If I edit the page, there I've got the backend, of the main page that we've seen together. Um, the way it's actually working on the left, let me actually put that here. On the left side of the page, you've got all the blocks that you can work with: text, pictures, photo galleries, button, dividers, videos, file, contact components that we've seen together, an agenda, social medias, a link to your blog, a link to some of your campaigns, donation campaign, events, contact information of someone within your community, or iframe, which basically is a way to embed within a page a component from another website. So those are all the components you can play with. The way the CMS is actually working on Springly is a very simple drag and drop. So let's assume that, I don't know, at the end of that section here, I want to add a button. I just click on the button, I drag it here. I can now design the button in itself with a text. So it's going to be, I don't know, whatever, test button, text size, button alignment, okay, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to link that to a page of your website, to a page to another website, or to a file, for example? So let's assume I want to redirect that to a page of my website, from the page. And let's actually put a link between contact us. Okay, contact us. It's going to be a contact us button. I save. Perfect. Contact us button is here. And if I save that here, now if I go back on the website, on the main page, you see, so before we didn't have anything. Here, I refresh. And now you've got a contact us button. And if I click on that contact us button, it redirects directly to the contact us page. So literally, it took me 2 clicks. And in 2 clicks, I did something on the website. I created a link between two pages through a button, very simply. No need to have a web designer skills or web integrator skills. It's actually very, very simple. So a few things maybe that I can tell you is, for example, within the background. Let me actually add a background here, for example. There you go. Either it's a color, either it's an image. If it's an image, a parallax. Parallax is a nice effect that you can have. So when you scroll down the image do not scroll down with the same pace as you're scrolling down. Let me show that within the home page. There you go. You see, there's a parallax effect with the image underneath that is scrolling down not at the same pace as the page in itself. So it's adding a quite nice effect on the page. So that can be added very easily. You just once again you drag and drop the background at the right pace at the right place. Then you add an image, and then within the image you just click on add the parallax effect, and that's it. So again, plain and simple, very easy to do. That being said, let me show you a few things about small pages. When you have a small pages, well, first you have different small pages. You have blog pages, photo galleries, calendar, surveys, and directory pages. Those are the 5 different pages that you can create. Let me drill into 3 of them. It's no need to drill into each and every one. For example, directory pages, plain and simple, completely connected with your CRM. How is it working? You can create first. You can create as many directory pages as you want. There's no limitation in terms of number of directories. Sorry for that. Second, very important, is the way to create a directory takes a couple of clicks. Let's assume we want to create a new directory. First, is it connected to your person CRM or your entity CRM? Connected to your person CRM, for example. Then you will just choose who among your CRM will be presented within that directory. Let's assume it's a specific group. It's gonna be, contact living in New York with transportation, for example. Okay, it's going to be the people within that group that will have a directory. Then, for those people, you will just select what type of information you want to be able to display. So first name, last name, maybe the email address, and then as further information, maybe the date of birth, the phone number, and what. So those are the information that um, will be displayed, and then so now this directory page is created. Right now, as you can see, it is available as a draft. So you can actually publish the page online. Let me click here. And let's actually put that page with UNI, for example, within the UNI section here. Let's actually change the name of that page. So directory, so it's going to be New Yorkers with transportation. I think it was. You can restrict the visibility of that group if you want. Let's make it a public page. I save, and that's it. And so now within my website, if I refresh the page, underneath you and I, and New Yorkers with transportation, you can click here, and you will see indeed the directory of all the people that are living in New York with transportation. You can make an adventures if you want, because we stored more information about them, etc., etc. You can display the entire card if you want, very good, etc. So everything is pre-designed. That's also the principle of Springly with the smart pages, is that everything is completely pre-designed. Voila. Voila for that. So directory page. Survey is actually very simple. It allows you to create a survey with different questions. The funnel is really self-explanatory, so I will just let you discover that. Calendar is a nice way to add the different events of your organization directly within your website. You can add new event manually, but also all the campaigns that you have created underneath forms and campaigns, membership, donation, events, online store, will be integrated automatically within that event, within that calendar, completely automatic. Photo galleries, nice way to add different photo galleries within your website. You can add, once again, as many galleries as you want. Blog pages, and let's actually drill down into that one, is a nice way to present articles that you might write on your organization, on your sector, or whatever, and a nice way to display them online. The way to design an article is actually very simple. Let's actually manage that article, that blog. There you go. So you just need to worry about an image, the title, and the text, and that's it. The rest, the presentation of the article in itself, is done by the platform automatically. There's a few other things that you might want to publish, but that's it. So that's actually quite powerful, because it saves you a lot of time, because designing an outlook of an article can actually be quite long, quite sturdy, and be quite complex. So you just need to worry about the main thing that we've seen before. You can create as many articles as you want. You can also play with the settings. So we've got a tagging system. You can enable or disable it. You can allow comments if you want. You can enable the subscription to the newsletter directly from the blog, which is actually quite common and quite standard, etc., etc. There's a few things like that you can play with. And once you've created your articles, you can then very simply relate them, display them within your website. And so that's it. That's the way to create your website on Springly, simply and quite efficiently. Few things, very important. First, if you have any questions, of course, don't hesitate to use the help panel. There's actually tons of articles that explains how the website is actually working. I don't know if you type in a blog, for example, there's a few things, a few articles. Create a blog page, adding blogs, so create manage blog posts, etc., etc. There is actually tons of articles that explains how this is working. That's the first thing. Second thing, when you're actually on the website, you will see that this will appear. Download our Springly website guide. I strongly encourage you to download it and to read it. It explains what I've been telling you, but in a quite concise way, in a couple of pages. Very useful, quite well done. Voilà. Apart from that, you've got everything you need to know to design a great website. Enjoy and talk to you soon. Bye bye.